for us, quite frankly, number one, I like the fact that, we're providing just a pure experience for folks.
Yeah.
I've promoted a few things I don't get paid to promote. I've talked about my tea collection or my fragrance collection, but it's not like I'm getting paid for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lifestyle sharing.
Let's talk about your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've spent a lot of time cultivating that brand. You're quite active. Do you have a content schedule where you're planning the videos on there? And you need to also talk about the growth that your YouTube channel has. You're 125,000 subscribers.
125, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's something, yeah.
It's a good number.
So it started with me, the very first thing we did actually many, many years ago was we went to a studio here in KL and we filmed some. And I'm like, do we have a boom mic? What's the mic source? And they're like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Like famous last words, don't worry about it, right?
Yeah.
And then we get back and it sounds terrible. And actually, I think our number one or number two video, like 500,000 views or something, was one of those. Fastest countries to get citizenship. Every time Trump got elected or Brexit happened or something happened in India, people flocked to that video. And the audio is so bad, it makes me go crazy.
Yeah.
So then I said, well, you know what? I'll just do it on my phone because I'm traveling around. I can't find these studios. But it just was never organized. So finally, a couple of years ago, I said, I'm just going to hire some guys to help me do this and edit it and put it out.
Yeah.
And we eventually did once a day. And I think that's just kind of been my philosophy on building anything is, we've got almost 2,000 blog posts at this point.
Yeah.
I've stopped writing them at a certain point. Mm-hmm. We've got close to 1,000 videos. And for me, it was just, what are people asking about? What am I thinking about? What is the stuff that I'm seeing in this life that maybe people aren't thinking about that I can share?
Yeah.
And putting it out there and doing so consistently and just trying to outwork everybody. Mm-hmm. And I think that's been the secret to success. I mean, I really feel like the lesson I've seen throughout every business is if you just outwork everyone, you're probably going to be successful. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate to be in a business that probably has a certain moat around it, where people trust my advice on passports because I have 4 or 5 passports, mm-hmm. And I've done it and I've seen it. So there's a certain moat there, but nevertheless, anyone can create content on something.
Yeah.
I think that perhaps I'm missing some sexier principle, but I go back to Protestant guy growing up in Ohio, and it's just like work hard.
Okay, so your YouTube channel's up now.
There we go.
You got a nice channel banner, and your thumbnails are like really consistent. Do you have a team that works on that, or are you kind of the man behind a lot of your channel? What I've
largely, at this point we have about 20, 22, 23 people who do stuff, including this, but generally most of the stuff we do, I start off doing it. I don't want to be a leader who is disconnected from the process. I want to be able to say, I've done that. And it comes in handy because occasionally we've had people who come in to write articles. Yeah. And I'm saying I just wrote an article that's, 3,000 words in 2 hours and you took 27 hours. This is not acceptable, right? Yeah. So I have done it, and I think the original color scheme and all that I did come up with. Yeah. And now we have someone who's actually taken it to the next level. She's done a great job with some of the graphics and stuff. Okay. On the thumbnails. But yeah, I think having a great brand image is important. And I think what I think is important in your brand is you want to be repetitive at times. Mm. For me, I never think that people need to hear things more than once. And I had to train myself to say, go where you're treated best, go where you're treated best, go where you're treated best. And this is the Trump school of branding, by the way. Yeah. Build the wall, we're going to make America great again. Yeah. And he has the same things, and everyone knows what he stands for. Yeah, simple, repeating. He's running against this guy, Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. No one knows what Joe Biden stands for. He's not Trump. That's all he is. Yeah. Right. But I have no idea. He's never said anything interesting. He's Sleepy Joe. But he's Sleepy Joe. That's what Trump calls him. Yeah. So it's this great mark because people have to hear things time and time again. Mm-hmm. And I think with color scheme, there's a reason Coca-Cola has Coca-Cola Red. People see it. I'm telling you, man. I I've had to wean myself off of a Coca-Cola addiction. And I'll tell you, it's hard because every time I see that red color, I'm like, I'm jonesing for a Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Because they have the red. So for us, it's the green. And I think if you're going to build a brand, having that kind of consistency, people see it and they know what it is important.
Right. I mean, you've got, the Nomad Capitalist, you got your slogan, you've got your color scheme. And I noticed on your YouTube videos the past couple of years, you've got the same intro, like a really good, nice intro. You're, dressed to the nines, carrying your suitcase.
And the reason for that was because it's a niche business. Someone might come in, and we just had our most popular video recently was why I wouldn't invest in Spain or Italy. And I talked about all the bureaucracy and how it's just not keeping up and you can invest somewhere else. And obviously a lot of people who watch that video who are from Spain or Italy or who are from the United States and always wanted to live in Spain or Italy think that I'm stupid for choosing to invest in Cambodia instead of in decaying, no growth Spain. And so my idea was, you may not know what I do because it's really kind of a very rare thing, the idea of living in different countries and investing and going where you're treated best. It's not what people were taught in school. And so I said, let's have an intro. So if you're watching for the very first time, you at least have some idea what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And obviously if you're watching for the 1000th time, you kind of get sick of it, but so be it.
Yeah, I think it's great what you've done with the channel. Do you monetize on it, or do you
I don't.
Just use organic traffic to bring them to your products or your site?
Yeah, I mean, for us, quite frankly, number one, I like the fact that we're providing just a pure experience for folks.
Yeah.
I've promoted a few things I don't get paid to promote. I've talked about my tea collection or my fragrance collection, but it's not like I'm getting paid for that.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lifestyle sharing. I also don't want people to be able to just come up and I'll just run an ad on Andrew's channel. Our business is we help successful people. We provide a premium consultancy service and strategy and execution of that. People see us on YouTube. I think they watch a bunch of videos. They realize I've done this stuff. That it's not my first time around the block.
Yeah.
And they come to us as a result. We've built a good business. And so I don't monetize as a result.
Oh, interesting. I mean, if you did turn it on, I mean, you're making a good amount, but probably you've outweighed the pros and cons. Yeah, I mean,
the hardest decision, and I've learned this the hard way because I am instinctively a relatively frugal person, believe it or not. But the hardest thing to do is to walk away from any kind of source of revenue. A long, long time ago, we had various ebooks, and they were rather premium ebooks. $197. Here's how to get a bank account overseas, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what frustrated me most was people would buy them and do nothing with them. It's the typical ebook thing.
Yeah.
Eventually, we got to the point where we were doing this consulting service. People like that much better. The good people who actually do want to do something, they just want it done for them. They don't want to mess around. They want to be told where to go. They don't want to read a book.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, we're making $7,000 a month from these books. Like, what do we need $7,000 a month? Like, get rid of it. And I can tell you at the time, it's like, yeah, but $7,000, that's like,
it's nice.
You're in Malaysia, $7,000 a month. You're living you're the king.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to make the decision to just walk away from that, because I think that energetically, if you're focused on too many things, you're not going to win at any of them. Right? Energetically, if you're trying to work with clients who have $100 million and the occasional guy comes who has $50,000 and you're like, well, he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a personal thing, but energetically, you're taking your eye off the ball. I'm not saying that's my exact situation, that I only work with people with $100 million, but I'm saying you have to define what it is that's important to you and be prepared to walk away from some money if you're going to win in a big way.
Okay, so it sounds like your primary focus is consultancy, not YouTube channel.
Again, the very roots of it were, I personally enjoy everything that we're doing. I'd be doing it if there was none of this existed, I would be doing it myself.
Yeah.
And so, it's my childhood dream of being able to create a whole experience to share with people. I always feel really in sync when I'm doing this kind of stuff that I really enjoy, and then I'm putting it out there in some way. And so I've been very fortunate that people actually are interested in what I have to say. I didn't know that anyone would be interested in the beginning.
Yeah.
I just thought this was kind of a pit stop on my way to the next company in the life of serial entrepreneurship. And eventually people started asking hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? One thing led to another. To me, it's a great case study in organic business building where you give stuff and you just see where it goes.
How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.